Hi, so I am popping in to answer one Ask Anything question that I thought was a good one and deserved its own post. So here we go. How do you determine the boundaries around what you're comfortable sharing about yourself, your family, and your friends? Do you have friends who have asked not to be on the blog? I'm curious about Jordan's take about what you divulge about him on the blog. So I'll start with the friends thing. I have not had any friends or family request to not be on the blog. And I would hope that anybody who does have a problem with it would let me know, and of course I won't include them, but in fact I have had the opposite problem where I've had people get really excited about being on the blog. Last year at my brother's wedding, two of my aunts, you know who you are, they were talking to me about my blog and they read it all the time, and they were really excited that I was going to take a picture with them and post it on the blog, which I did, and so I'll put the link below to that. But anyway, I've had some friends who said, how come you never put me on your blog? You never talk about me. So not in an annoying way, just they're kind of being funny, but I've definitely had people do the opposite where they really want to be on the blog. I haven't had anybody tell me they don't want to be. As far as determining the boundaries around what I'm comfortable sharing, it's kind of an ambiguous answer, and I don't know if I can put something concrete to it, but you know, it's all just personal preference. I feel very comfortable being personal and being honest on the blog. You know, I shared about when I got fired a couple years ago, and that was how hard that was, and I've shared about, you know, my faith and about God, and I've shared, you know, last week the hail came and ruined my windshield and I sat in the car crying for an hour. So that kind of thing, you know, but then there's other things like sharing about our infertility, or our going to an infertility doctor. And, you know, I didn't share about that while it was happening, and I haven't really shared about it since. And I have no problem at all with somebody emailing me to ask a question about it. And I actually had some people email me, and I shared more of our story. And I have no problem talking about it with my friends and my family, and I'm not ashamed of it or anything, but I just don't feel like it's something I need to share with the whole internet. If you haven't noticed, I don't do sponsorships. I do some review posts and that kind of thing, but in general, I'm not really out to make money and get thousands of followers. I really just like connecting with people, and I like sharing, and I really like having a place to share pictures and stories. And so I decide what I want to share based on whether or not it's something that I want to remember as a story for my own life looking back. And some of those things I can keep in my Project Life book or keep in my pregnancy journal, etc. And I just don't feel the need to share on my blog. And it's a hard line, and it's different for everyone, but that's the answer for me, I guess. And then as far as what Jordan's comfortable with me sharing, he in general has no problem being on the blog or me sharing pictures or stories about our marriage or our life or about him. And in fact, I think he and his friends who read my blog get a big kick out of me including him on the blog and sharing embarrassing stories. And those are the kind of things I do want to remember later and laugh about because they're funny, like our sleep habits and how I get rage in the middle of the night and that kind of thing. One time I posted a blog post, and I'll put the link to that below, but I typed down everything he was saying as he was playing a video game, and his friends, and they thought that was hilarious. So stuff like that he has no problem with. If there's ever anything, and this has happened a couple of times, if there's ever anything that I think he might have a problem with, whether it's something personal about me, about our life, about him, about our marriage, about our budgeting, I will ask him. And I'll say, can you read this? Because I want to make sure you're okay with what I'm saying. And then he'll read it. And a lot of times he'll have some feedback, and he'll say, I'd really rather you take this paragraph out, or don't use this word, that kind of thing. And I always change it, and his edits always make it better anyway. So I have no problem with it. And I obviously don't want to post anything that he's uncomfortable with. So I'll always ask him. And very rarely, I think in maybe 2 or 3 cases, have I ever posted something and not asked him first, and then later he said, you know, I really didn't like how you said this. And it's never been a huge deal or anything that I've had to go delete or anything like that, but just some little things here and there. And, you know, of course, I don't want him ever to feel like that. So I try to be conscious of it and just ask him before I post, and he'll give me some feedback, but usually, in rare cases, does he ever have a problem with anything I've written. That's kind of a little insight into my blogging and how I write, and if you have any further questions, feel free to ask, and I have no problem sharing. If you ever want to ask me anything about anything, you can email me. If you have any other questions, I'll leave the link to the Ask Anything post, and I have lots more questions still, so I'll keep doing answer posts, and hopefully you like them. And thanks so much for reading and watching and asking questions, and you guys are just so much fun. So hope you all have a great day. Bye.